Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading since today is the solar eclipse in Libra. So, because it is a collective reading, I'm doing it with my big combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards. So, you'll see both of them in your reading today. Although, here in the first part, there are only tarot cards, which, to be honest, really brings a lot of comfort to my heart just because the tarot cards came before the oracle cards, the astrological oracle cards. So it feels like a very nice, comforting place to begin again with the readings, right? It's been a while again. Um, yeah. So just a little side note, just to explain my absence from here. Um, this recent phase of just moving and going through a lot of changes have been a lot harder than I anticipated, and things that are really deeply just embedded in my own soul, in my own being, my own mind are just coming to the surface, right? And eclipse season is the perfect moment for that. So yeah, I'm just surrendering to what is. That's why I haven't been recording alongside all sorts of personal stuff and family related stuff. But yeah, since today is the solar eclipse, which means is the beginning of a new lunar cycle. And actually, the last one from this series of eclipses in the signs of Aries and Libra. So we're sealing this axis with the sign of Libra, which is the balance, right? Which is finding this justice, finding this it's like the right harmony, right? The right tone for things. Um, and just to dive into your reading today, it feels like the thing that perhaps was missing from this equation to keep the scale in balance is magic, because we're beginning with the magician, and the magician here came bringing the message of the magic is still here, right? If you open your eyes, you'll see that there are a few glimpses. I often say that these few glimpses of magic are there, are um, it's like it's easy to perceive if you have attention, if you it's like if you pay attention to the details, right? It's like they're not so obvious, but if you look closely and you just catch those few glimpses, it's like you're going to notice the presence of the magician, which it seems like whenever I see this upright magician, I feel like there is something hidden inside this hat. It's almost like there is a bigger magic or a bigger secret, a bigger mystery that is yet to be revealed, but in the right time, because it feels like the rest of the cards here are talking about a side of a relationship that you don't know yet about. It's almost like if you look at the thumbnail, you'll see that the magician is the first card, and then the second and the first row of three, and then the second row of three cards are almost like two different scenes or two different sets that are painting different pictures. So it's almost like two layers of what you do know, maybe the few glimpses that you catch here and there about a specific relationship that is still very magical, right? Because this is the overall message of the magician. The magic is still here for you to perceive, but there are hidden factors or there are mysteries that you don't know yet about this person. And the person is represented by this King of Swords. So, this King of Swords actually reminded me of a card that Sen from Sen Tarot she uses in her readings, which is the card that she calls the Him card, which is again the King of Swords, which I believe is from the Good Tarot, and it's not swords, so it would be King of Air. I think. Um, but yeah, So it's just talking about him, it's talking about that person, it's talking about this significant other, which could have different layers of relating to this person, because being the King of Swords, for me, it's coming through as, very spiritual, like a side of him that is very subtle, that is very abstract, that is beyond the 3D, beyond words, beyond the physical. But the physical side of it is also significant because the King of Swords is being followed by two Pentacle cards, the Six and the Three of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles actually came together right behind the King of Swords, and it was just emphasizing the fact that this relationship is strong and steady. These were the two words that I heard. It's almost like one filament is representing the strength, and the other one is representing the steadiness in a sense. So it's almost like there is this firmness to it, there is this agreement to it, right? And maybe in a very physical way, in a very visible way, because the purpose of this relationship is the Three of Pentacles, which in this case is just bringing the word co-creation, but a co-creation that wants to be materialized, right? Because of the emphasis of the Pentacles suit. So there is a side, maybe a mystical side, maybe a spiritual side, maybe like a very abstract, maybe hidden secret that this king, that this him, it could be her, right? It's not a gender related, just because a king, that's the reason why I'm saying him. But, anyways, so this other, right, this significant other, they have a spiritual side to them, or maybe like it's almost like thoughts, or um it's coming through more like thought form, just because of the air and the pentacle, right? The air and the earth. So it's like it's a thought that wants to be materialized, but it's almost like it needs a magic touch. It needs um it's so fascinating. It's like it's what I just heard. It's like the magic happens when you look at it. It's like you need to look and see the magic. That's when it reveals itself, right? And maybe this is a reminder that you, right, the one that I'm doing this reading for, is going to give to him or to her or to this other, in order for you to together, right? Because this is like it's very intertwined, even though you might have like parallel lives. It's like it's very intertwined, and it's very how do I say, it's like it matches, right? It's very coherent, it's very equivalent, right? Because it has the purpose of co-creating together. So this is the message from this first row of three cards, which feels very straightforward and very clear, right? It's almost like this, maybe you already know this, right? Maybe this is not new. Maybe this is the part of the magic that you didn't need like a reinforcement, because it's like the visible part that you already know. But that's the thing, it's like in order to unlock what is hidden, it's almost like you need to look through what you already perceive as, something on the surface, or like the agreed terms of this contract, of this relationship, right? Oh, that's it. Okay, so that's fascinating. What I'm just hearing, because I was looking at this Three of Pentacles, and I was just thinking, like, how each of your individual lives is um, made of three pentacles. So it's almost like each one of you separately, you are already co creators, right? It's like individually, you're able to co create on your own, but it's almost like if you reduce, it's like if you take him or her or the other from the equation, it's almost like it's going to it's going to activate something that you have never seen from this person. It's like it's going to reveal a mystery. It's going to, bring from the subconscious some sort of, it wants to be described as magical release, because the cards that are here at the bottom row of three cards are intense, right? To say the least. And I do feel like, and I'm trying to be careful with this word, but it is the word that keeps coming through, which is betrayal. So I don't know if this is from you or from their side. I want to say that it's more from their side. And to be honest, it's not, if you were to co create something without them, I do feel like this would trigger some sort of maybe traumatic response or subconscious type of behavior and reaction that they don't even know that they have that, right? Maybe it might be a surprise for them as well, but that is this magical release. And maybe that's the reason why, in fact, you might need to consider perhaps how could this co-creation happen if it was just you and not you and them, right? And not because it would, it's like you can do this by yourself, they can do this co-creation by themselves. Together, it enhances the co-creation. But there's something hidden that it's almost like it's going to penetrate the co-creation, that it's meant to be released before you can come together again, and it's like just reconnect or like reestablish the terms of the contract. I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but it's like they don't know that they have a side that is going to be triggered by something that you decide, or maybe if you just consider the possibility, maybe you're not going to act upon it. Maybe you are, right? Because it's like the two pentacles. Maybe you are, but just the fact that you would consider something separately from them, maybe it's going to trigger in them, I want to say specifically, that they didn't see coming, or that they didn't expect that it would come, at least not with you, since both of you already have like such a reciprocal, just and fair and harmonious relationship. And the reason why I'm saying it could trigger a little bit of fear and discomfort is because the Seven of Swords is coming after the Three of Pentacles, and it's right underneath this King of Swords. The thing about the Seven of Swords here, it's just coming through as like poking, right? But it's like this insistent and very, it's like this very uncomfortable and very stressful type of poking, right? So it's the type of thing that perhaps is, hidden in the subconscious of this other, right? This partner of yours, that they would rather keep it, tucked underneath this hat, or, hidden somewhere in the cupboard of, their soul or their spirit. But it's almost like it's it's almost like their spirit wants to release this, right? Because it's coming with the Seven of Swords. I'm just quickly looking at the very final card, which is the Five of Swords, which is the start of the release, right? Because here we have like the two extra swords that are here, and here we no longer have that. So it is the start of a release, but it is uncomfortable, right? And it's almost like, I want to say that perhaps because something that you do, you're going to trigger a reaction that is nothing to do with you, but it's like it's older. It's like it's maybe from a past relationship, or, it's just there waiting for, it's almost like it's the trigger, it's actually very good. Maybe this is, the magical release, the part of, this trick of the magician that, we don't see coming, because when we think about magic, we expect, rainbows and, this colorful, dreamy scenario. But in fact, it's almost like it needs to be poking at you, or at least you being the one that symbolically is going to poke at your partner, so that they release something that has been kept under wraps, right? Because sometimes I see this shape or this visual as something that is being contained, that is being restricted. So it's almost like they have something hidden in their subconscious that it's almost like they don't even know it's there, or they have forgotten about it, because it's it's almost like it's enveloped. It's like it's inside this wrap. It's inside this bubble that it's not, it's almost like it's not visible, right? It's like it's buried deep down. But the moment that it's triggered by something that perhaps you do or you propose, it's like they feel betrayed. It's almost like they feel like they are carrying the burdens all on their own, right? Because of the 10 of Wands. But again, I'm not seeing this as, maybe they are confused about who is the one carrying the burden here, because it's almost like this is so old, this is so ancient, that they don't even know where it began, or they don't even know what is the root, the cause, like the origin of this discomfort, right? Maybe they have been carrying like this burden, almost as like this automatic response, maybe because they are king, right? It's like they have a lot of, um it's like they're seen, or they are interpreted by people in their life, um as the mature one, as the responsible, as the authority, as the one that is capable of, holding all of this responsibility. So, but in their eyes, in a sense, maybe just because things between you, right, are so balanced, or so equal, or so harmonious, that they didn't anticipate that they would feel this hit, or this feeling, right, of discomfort inside of them, that would go back to like this old, um it's like this old uncomfortable imbalanced situation where they seem to be carrying all of the weight of the relationship, right? But in seeing that, because remember, it's like perceiving beyond what is like on the surface of the magic. It's like, yes, start seeing the glimpses again, but remember that there is a lot that is still about to be released, about to be revealed. Um, Even though it might be very uncomfortable, especially to this one, which seems to be the one that is holding all of this weight, right? And maybe they don't even know. So it's almost like you're helping them, because it's almost like the beginning of your relationship, right? It's like it's always been the 6 of Pentacles, or it was born with the 6 of Pentacles. It's very balanced. But because they carry all of this, it's almost like they're torturing themselves. This is the word that I just heard, torture. They're torturing themselves, and they're looking at you, projecting all of this ancient things onto you. But what they don't realize is that actually this feeling that might, just flare up in them, it's like it's not necessarily betrayal of you, right? They might say that because this is what I'm hearing from the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. Maybe they are feeling that, and they are saying that you're, betraying them, but if you do this co-creation by yourself, right? But it's, I want to say, just to clear things up, right? It's like it's something that they have kept hidden, maybe quiet, right? Deep down in their subconscious. And with your move, with your decision, or maybe your consideration about this possibility of co creating by yourself, it triggers in them this feeling of being left, or being betrayed, literally, right? But that is helping them release this, because it goes from the 7 to the 5. And it's almost like they don't realize that even though it might be painful for them, this is something that needs to be seen, right? In order to slowly bring them their integrity back. Because to me, the fives talk about integrity. So it's almost like spirit, their own spirit, is wanting to allow them to come to integrity again. But maybe they feel like they have reached a level that it's like they don't have anywhere else to go. But that's not the truth. It's almost like they have to release in order to open space so that they can continue, their path, because it seems like both of you are just beginning, and it's almost like you're about to co-create something together that could be very magical, but this magical release needs to happen first, right? That's interesting. That's really profound. I mean, it's not a very um basic or a very um like surface level reading, right? Actually, this is how I'm feeling recently. It's almost like things have been really complex, right? I know that the last readings that I did were all about complexity. Um, but yeah, this reading in particular feels like there is this depth of your partner, of this relationship, that it's like you're going to help them release something. And it's almost like your integrity. I'm just asking here, like if your integrity is going to be compromised or something like that. But to be honest, I don't see that. It's almost like the focus doesn't want to be in your integrity. That's not even going to be like affected, but it's their integrity that wants to be brought again to life, right? That's interesting. Okay, so I am going to pull more cards to see where this reading wants to go next. And also, I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So, if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Bye.